Hey guys, so today we're going to be crocheting a solid granny square. So this is what I have right in front of me, and as you can see, it has, well, first thing, it has a lot of double crochets. So like all of these, they're all double crochets. And if you haven't seen my previous tutorials on how to do like all the stitches, make sure you see that before coming here and make sure that you've really practiced all of those because that's going to be important when going to this one. So, the granny square works in rounds. So this is round 1, round 2, and round 3. And this is going to be in multiple parts. So in this one, I'm going to be doing the first row. The second video is probably going to be both the second and third rows combined because both of them follow the same pattern. But since we want the foundation and that's like more important, I'm just going to be doing row 1 in this one. So, to get started, what you need to do is get your yarn, and you want to have, sorry, went out of focus there. You want to have an 8mm crochet hook, and you also want to use a yarn that matches this size of crochet hook, and you can just look at that on the label on the yarn. So, let's get started. So, we want to make a slip knot first. So, remember how to make a slip knot? That's tail pointing down around your hand and then cross it over. And then take your hook under the first, over the second. And then tighten. Of course, you can do your own way of doing it. It doesn't really matter. Just make sure you get a slip knot on your hook. So, to get started, we need to chain 4. So, to do a chain, wrap yarn around hook from the back and then pull it through the loop. That's 1. So yarn over, pull it through. That's 2, 3, and then 4. Alright, so like I said, the granny square works in rounds, so we're going to be working the first round of it around a ring. So we chained 4 in order to make a ring, to come back and make a ring. So in order to do that, we want to slip stitch into the first chain that we made. To do that, we need to put our hook through the first chain that we made, yarn over, and then pull it through everything. Alright, so as you can see, it's like super tiny, but if we just like try to expand it, we can do that if you want to make it easier to see. And about the tail end, just discard that, just like put it aside. That's not really important anymore. So it may look tiny at first, but I want you to really separate the chains from each other so that we can really see it. Because for all of row 1, like I said, we're going to be working into this ring, and it's going to get really cramped at the end, so you want to make sure that you clearly see this so it makes it easier. What you're going to do next is chain 5. So that's 1, 2, yarn over, pull it through, that's 3, 4, 5. Next thing that we need to do is 3 double crochets into the ring that we made. So to do a double crochet, yarn over, put it through, and pull up a loop. That's 3 loops on your hook, so yarn over, pull it through the first 2 loops, yarn over, pull it through the last 2 loops. So we need to do 2 more. I said we need to do 3, so that's 2 more. So again, yarn over, put it through, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull it through the first 2 loops, yarn over, pull it through the last 2 loops. That's 2, so 1 more. Yarn over, put it through the loop, bring up a loop. It's supposed to say ring there. Yarn over, pull it through the first 2 loops, yarn over, pull it through the last 2. So that's 3. The next thing we need to do is chain 2. So this chain 2 serves as a corner for our solid granny square. And so that's like one of these. And it's hidden because, you know, for the rows that we're going to be doing. We're going to be working all around those. So this is a chain 2, chain 2, chain 2, chain 2. So the chain 2s are really going to be our corners as we work through this entire project. So you have chain 2. Next thing, we're going to be doing another 3 double crochets into that same ring. So again, yarn over, put it through, bring up a loop, yarn over, pull it through the first 2 loops, yarn over, pull it through the last 2 loops. Okay, so 2 more. Yarn over, pull it through, first 2, and second 2. So 1 more. Again, if you're feeling behind, you can always just pause it or rewind if you need. Anyways, so as you can see, we're already beginning to run out of space. So what you're gonna do is you're going to want to push your double crochets down so that you create more space. And you might want to do this repeatedly to make more space. So we need to chain 2 for our next corner. It's 1, 2, and then we want to do another 3 double crochets into that same ring. So again, yarn over, bring up a loop, first 2, second 2. Again, that's 2, and that's 3. All right, so now we're getting really cramped. So again, I'm gonna need to do that a little more. And as you pull it down, you may or may not be already seeing some sort of square, and that's good. You should be seeing that. All right, so we want to chain 2 again for our last corner. And then, so this time, instead of double crocheting 3 times, we're going to be doing it twice. So I'll explain that in a second, but for now, just do 1, and then 2. All right, so we are almost done. The last thing that we need to do is to join it somehow. So I did mention this in one of my tutorials, but usually in crochet, a chain 3 can mimic a double crochet. It's the same length, so it can easily just be like a mock double crochet. So that is why we chained 5 in the beginning, because the 3 served as a 1 double crochet and the 2 served as a corner. So that's also why we only did 2 double crochets. So what you're going to do is you're going to want to join them, and that is why we're going to do a slip stitch. So in order to do that, however, what we want to do is we want to count up 3 chains and then slip stitch into that chain. So you can pull it down and you can turn it over, and you want to see these V's. So that's going to be 1, 2, 3.